Listen, not everything needs your reaction. Not everything needs your energy. There are moments in life where your silence is your greatest power, where the loudest response is no response at all. Because karma is a master at handling things for you. Listen, some people live for the reaction. They wake up in the morning and think, how can I get under someone's skin today? These people don't have purpose, they don't have peace, and they definitely don't have power. Their power comes from controlling your emotions, from making you angry, from making you break your character. And if you give them that power, even for a second, they win. But here's the thing. You don't play games with people who have nothing to lose. You don't argue with people who aren't even on your level. They want you to react because your reaction feeds them. It gives them validation. It makes them feel important. And the worst thing you can do, the absolute worst, is to give them exactly what they want. The moment you start explaining yourself, the moment you start defending yourself, you've already lost. Because why are you explaining yourself to someone who has already decided to misunderstand you? Why are you justifying yourself to someone who doesn't even respect you? Some battles are beneath you, and trust me, this is one of them. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. It's power. It's the difference between a queen and a pawn. Queens don't move impulsively. They don't react emotionally. They sit back, they watch, and they let people expose themselves. And people will expose themselves, they always do. You don't need to do a thing. When someone tries to provoke you, they want a moment where they get to see you angry, upset, frustrated. They want to watch you lose your composure. But what happens when you don't give them that? What happens when you look at them unfazed, uninterested, like their words mean absolutely nothing? They panic, they get frustrated, they realize they have no power over you. And that is where you win. Because let me tell you something, people who seek drama are already drowning in their own misery. Happy, successful, self-respecting people do not go around provoking others. They don't have time for it. They don't need it. But miserable people, they need it. They need drama to distract themselves from the fact that their life is empty. And when you engage, when you react, you're stepping into their storm. A storm that isn't even yours to begin with. So let them talk. Let them throw their insults, their passive-aggressive comments, their petty remarks. Let them say whatever they need to say to make themselves feel better. And then stay silent, walk away, not because you're weak, not because you're afraid, but because you refuse to give them even a second of your energy. Your energy is too expensive for that. And the best part is that karma always comes full circle. People who go around provoking others, trying to spread negativity, always end up falling into their own trap. They think they're winning, but they're just setting themselves up for failure. Their negativity, their toxicity, their own mindset will be their downfall. And you won't even have to lift a finger. So stay silent, stay composed, stay untouchable, because nothing is more powerful than a person who refuses to be provoked. People will lie about you. That's just a fact of life. You could be the most genuine, kind-hearted person in the world, and still someone will twist your words, spread rumors, and try to paint you as something you're not. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Some people just can't handle the fact that you're unshakable. They see your confidence, your peace, your energy, and instead of being inspired by it, they try to destroy it. They lie about you because they can't stand that you live in truth. Now, your first instinct might be to defend yourself, to call them out, to prove that they're wrong. But listen, truth doesn't need to be screamed. Truth doesn't need to be explained. Truth always reveals itself, no matter how many people try to bury it. And the people who believe lies about you, they were never really on your side to begin with. That's the part you need to understand. If someone is so quick to believe something negative about you without even asking for your side, then they were looking for a reason to doubt you. They were waiting for an excuse to turn on you. And why would you waste your energy trying to prove yourself to someone like that? The moment you start explaining, the moment you start justifying, you've already lost. Because now you're letting someone else control your narrative. You're letting their lies dictate your actions. But when you stay silent, when you let karma handle it, that's when you show real power. You're showing that you don't need to beg for people to see the truth. You don't need validation from people who don't even respect you. And here's the thing, people who lie, they always expose themselves, always. Because a liar has to keep lying. They have to keep making up stories, keep twisting the truth, keep covering their tracks. And eventually they slip, they contradict themselves. Their web of lies gets too tangled and people start to see the truth. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but it always happens. And when it does, the only thing you'll have to do is sit back and watch. This is where most people mess up. They try so hard to control how they see them. They waste energy trying to convince people that they're good, that they're honest, that they're real. But the truth is, your character speaks for itself. The people who really know you, who really value you, won't fall for lies. They won't question your integrity over some gossip. And the ones who do, let them go. Let them remove themselves from your life. Because your energy is too expensive to waste on proving yourself to people who are never meant to be in your circle anyway. You have to trust karma. Trust that what is done in the dark will always come to light. Trust that people who build their lives on lies will eventually have to face them. And when that moment comes, they will wish they had never tried to destroy you. They will wish they had never spoken your name with disrespect. But by then, it will be too late. By then, you will have already moved on, already built a life so powerful, so untouchable, that their lives will feel insignificant. So don't argue, don't chase, don't explain, just keep being you. Keep moving forward. Keep letting your success speak louder than any lie ever could, because at the end of the day, the truth always wins. And you don't have time for anything less than the truth. Betrayal is one of the deepest wounds a person can experience. It shakes you. Makes you question everything, your judgment, your trust, your ability to see people for who they really are. Because betrayal doesn't come from an enemy. It comes from someone you once believed in, someone you let close, someone you gave access to parts of yourself that not everyone gets to see. And when they turn on you, it's like the ground beneath you disappears. The first instinct after being betrayed is to react, to confront them, to demand answers, to make them feel the pain they caused you. But listen, there is nothing you can say that karma will say louder. There is no revenge you can seek that life won't handle better. People who betray others are already digging their own graves. They think they're getting away with something, but in reality, they're setting themselves up for failure. Because the person who betrays once will betray again. It's in their nature. And eventually they will do it to the wrong person. Eventually they will find themselves alone, wondering why no one trusts them, why no one wants them around. When someone betrays you, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. Not with anger, not with desperation, but with silence. Your silence is your power, your absence is your answer. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to explain to the world what they did. Because trust me, people always reveal themselves. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but the truth always comes out. The same way they betrayed you, they will betray others. And one day they will look around and realize they destroyed every good thing they ever had. You see, karma is patient. Karma watches. Karma knows exactly when to strike, and it never misses. People who betray, who manipulate, who take advantage of those who are good to them, they always get what they deserve. It might not happen in the way you expect, it might not be immediate, but life has a way of balancing itself out, and you don't need to lift a finger. You just need to step back and let karma do what karma does best. The hardest part of betrayal is accepting that the person you trusted was never who you thought they were. That's the real pain. Not losing them, but losing the illusion of them. You look back at every moment, every conversation, every promise, and you realize that it was never real. But here's the thing. You are still real. Your kindness, your loyalty, your love, your effort, that was real. And just because they didn't appreciate it doesn't mean it was worthless. It means they weren't capable of valuing something so rare. So don't waste your energy on revenge. Don't waste your words on explanations. Just leave. Leave and let them deal with the weight of their own actions. Because people who betray others always carry guilt, even if they don't show it. They know deep down that they lost something valuable. And as time passes, as they continue their cycle of betrayal, that guilt grows until one day it hits them, until one day they sit alone with nothing but regret. And by then, you'll be so far ahead in life that their downfall will even matter to you. That's the real victory. Moving on, succeeding, thriving, letting them watch as you become untouchable. Because nothing, absolutely nothing is more painful for a betrayer than seeing the person they try to destroy rise without them. So let karma do its work, stay silent, stay focused, and let your success be the only response you ever give. Let them underestimate you. Let them believe you're weak, incapable, or that you won't make it. Let them laugh behind your back, dismiss your potential, and assume they have you figured out. People love to put others in a box. They love to tell you what you can and cannot do, as if their opinion holds any weight in your destiny. But here's the truth. No one knows what you're truly capable of except you. The world is full of people who project their own insecurities onto others. When they say you can't do something, what they really mean is they can't do it. When they say your dreams are unrealistic, what they really mean is they never had the courage to chase theirs. Weak-minded people hate seeing someone with ambition because it reminds them of everything they never became. So instead of supporting you, they try to tear you down. Instead of believing in you, they mock you. But their disbelief is not your problem. You don't need their approval, you don't need their validation, and you definitely don't need to explain yourself. The biggest mistake people make when they're underestimated is trying to prove themselves too soon. They get defensive, they argue, they try to convince others that they're worthy, that they're capable. But why? Why waste your breath explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you? Why give them the satisfaction of knowing they got under your skin? True power is not in proving your worth with words. It's in proving it with results. It's in moving in silence while they sit there thinking they've won. It's in staying focused, staying disciplined, and letting your success be the only response they ever get. People who underestimate you do you a favor. They show you exactly who they are. They expose their lack of vision, their limited mindset, their inability to see greatness when it's right in front of them. And that's fine. Let them be blind. Let them assume you're not a threat. Because while they're underestimating you, you're working. While they are laughing, while they're wasting time underestimating you, you're using every second to build the life they never believed you could have. And one day when you finally make it, when you finally reach the level they swore you'd never reach, they'll remember every word they ever said about you. They'll remember the way they doubted you, the way they dismissed you, the way they treated you as if you were nothing. And in that moment, when they see you thriving, they will realize that underestimating you was the worst mistake they ever made. But by then, it will be too late. You won't need to tell them, I told you so. You won't need to remind them of how they doubted you, because your success will be enough. Your achievements will be the loudest response they could ever get. And trust me, nothing is more satisfying than watching the people who once doubted you struggle to comprehend how wrong they were. So let them talk, let them assume, let them doubt. None of it matters. What matters is what you do. What matters is how you move when no one is watching, how you push forward when no one believes in you. Because at the end of the day, you don't need them to see your worth. You just need to see it for yourself. And once you do, there is absolutely nothing they can do to stop you. Some people are addicted to chaos. They don't know how to exist without it. They thrive on drama, on negativity, on pulling others into their storm because they have no peace within themselves. And the moment you start protecting your energy, the moment you choose peace over conflict, these people will come for you. They will poke, they will provoke, they will try to drag you into their mess. Because nothing frustrates a chaotic person more than someone who refuses to engage. They want you to react. They want you to get emotional. They want to see you break character and meet them at their low vibration. Why? Because if they can get you to engage, they can convince themselves that you're just like them, that you're not better, that you're just as messy, just as toxic, just as lost. But when you don't react, when you stay silent and refuse to step into their storm, that's when they start losing control. That's when they start to realize that their games don't work on you. And that is the most powerful thing you can do. Refuse to play the game. Protecting your peace is not weakness. It is not avoidance. It is a sign that you have reached a level of emotional intelligence that most people will never understand. Because true strength is not about how loud you can be, how many arguments you can win, or how well you can put someone in their place. True strength is knowing when to walk away, knowing when an argument is not worth your energy, knowing when someone is not worthy of your response. And here's the truth. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. No matter how much you explain, no matter how much you try to reason with them, they have already made up their mind. They are not listening to understand, they are listening to respond, to twist your words, to find a way to keep the conflict going. So why engage? Why waste your energy trying to bring logic to someone who feeds off of dysfunction? That is not your job. Your job is to protect your peace at all costs. Silence is your greatest weapon against people who seek to destroy your peace. When you don't respond, when you don't engage, they are left fighting with themselves. They are left drowning in their own negativity with no one to pull down with them. And eventually they will tire themselves out. Eventually they will move on to someone else who is willing to play their games. But you will still be at peace, untouched, unbothered, unshaken. And trust me, nothing upsets a toxic person more than someone who refuses to be affected by them. They want you to argue, they want you to get defensive, they want you to lose sleep over their words. But when you remain calm, when you continue to live your life without giving them a second thought, they lose all their power over you, because at the end of the day, these people are only as powerful as the attention you give them. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your response. Some people only exist to test you, to see if you will lower yourself to their level. But you didn't come this far. You didn't do all this work just to let someone drag you back into a place you've already outgrown. You have too much to lose. Your peace is too valuable. Your energy is too precious. So let them talk, let them try, let them do whatever they need to do to feel like they have won. Because in the end, the real victory is yours. The real victory is keeping your peace, no matter what storms try to pull you in. And when you master that, there is absolutely nothing in this world that can shake you. Not everyone deserves to know your next move. Not everyone deserves access to your plans, your dreams, your ambitions. Some people don't want to see you win. They want to see you doubt yourself. They want to hear your ideas just so they can plant seeds of fear, of hesitation, of insecurity. You think you're sharing your vision, but in reality, you're handing them the very ammunition they need to discourage you. There are people in your life right now who smile to your face but secretly hope you fail. They listen to your goals, nod their heads, and then walk away thinking, they'll never make it. And when you share too much, you give them the opportunity to throw doubt into your mind. They say things like, are you sure that's realistic? Or do you really think you have what it takes? And suddenly, that fire inside you, that belief, starts to flicker. Not because they were right, but because you let their words get in your head. Your biggest enemy is not always a stranger. Sometimes it's the person you've trusted with your dreams, the person you thought would support you, but instead they question you. They remind you of every risk, every obstacle, every way it could go wrong. And here's the thing, most of the time, it's not even about you, it's about them. It's about their own fears, their own limitations, their own failures. They project their doubts onto you because they never had the courage to chase their own dreams, and if they couldn't do it, they can't stand the thought of you doing it either. This is why silence is power. This is why moving in silence is not just an option, it's a necessity. The less you announce, the more you can focus. The less you explain, the more energy you have to actually do the work. Because when you talk too much, when you let too many people into your plans, you open the door for opinions you never needed in the first place. And opinions don't pay your bill. Opinions don't build your dreams. Opinions don't get you to the next level. Action does. People respect results. They respect what they can see, not what they hear. So instead of telling them what you're going to do, show them. Instead of explaining why your dream is possible, make it undeniable. Let them see you succeed without ever having the chance to doubt you. By the time they realize what you've done, it will be too late for them to discourage you. And the best part is watching their reaction when they finally see what you've built. When they finally realize that while they were doubting you, you were working. While they were questioning you, you were executing. That moment when they have no choice but to acknowledge your success, that is your reward, not their approval, not their validation, just a simple, undeniable fact that you did exactly what they thought you couldn't. So keep your plans to yourself, move in silence, work while they're sleeping, build while they're talking, because the loudest thing you will ever say is your success. And when the time is right, when the work is done, they won't need an explanation. They won't need a warning. They'll see it for themselves. And by then, the only thing left for them to do is watch. Some people don't deserve a reaction from you. They don't deserve your energy, your words, or your time. They thrive on attention, good or bad. It doesn't matter. They poke, they provoke, they create situations just to get a rise out of you. Because if they can control your reaction, they can control you. And that is exactly what they want. There will be moments in life where you are tested. People will try to bring you out of character. They will say things to trigger you, to make you defend yourself, to pull you into a battle that doesn't even belong to you. But here's what you need to understand. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Not every situation requires your response. Your silence is more powerful than any argument you could ever have. When you react, you give them what they want. You feed their ego, their need for validation, their desire to see you upset. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to engage, you leave them powerless. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know if they got to you. And that uncertainty eats them alive because toxic people need a reaction. They need to feel like they have control over your emotions. And when they don't get it, they crumble. It takes real strength to stay silent. It takes real discipline to walk away from a fight you know you could win. Because silence is not weakness, it's strategy. It's choosing peace over chaos. It's understanding that some people are simply not worth your energy. You see, when you argue with a fool from a distance, no one can tell who the fool is. But when you walk away, when you refuse to entertain their nonsense, it becomes clear who the real fool is. Silence is the best response to disrespect. It's the best response to lies, to manipulation, to jealousy, to people who only want to see you lose. Because at the end of the day, your energy is sacred. Your time is valuable. And the more you waste it on people who don't deserve it, the less you have for the things that truly matter. Some people will never understand your silence, and that's okay. They will take it as weakness, as if you have nothing to say. Let them think that. Let them assume. Because while they're busy wondering, you're busy winning. While they're trying to get under your skin, you focused on your growth, your goals, your future. And trust me, nothing is more frustrating to a person who wants to see you fail than watching you succeed without ever acknowledging them. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves to hear your voice, to know your thoughts, to affect your mood. Protect yourself, protect your peace. Because when you master the art of silence, you become untouchable, you become unshakable, you become someone they can't control. And that is your power, that is your revenge. Not words, not arguments, not explanations, just silence. And when you learn to use it wisely, when you learn to choose your battles carefully, you will realize something powerful. Most battles don't even deserve to be fought because karma never loses an address, and the people who try to break you will eventually break themselves. And when that happens, you won't even need to say, "I told you so." Your silence will say it for you.